His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, visited the Royal Bahraini Air Force and was received by the National Security Advisor, Royal Guard Commander and Secretary General of the Supreme Defense Council, Lieutenant General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. The Commander of Special Operations of the Royal Guard, Colonel His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Diab bin Sagr al-Naimi, the Commander of the Royal Bahraini Air Force, Major General Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and a number of senior officers. His Majesty the King inspected several fighter jets belonging to the Bahrain Defense Force, which are among the best in the world. His Majesty expressed appreciation for the valuable efforts exerted by the brave men of the Royal Bahraini Air Force, their high level of combat readiness and skills, and their unity as they work together with the air defense and the various branches and units of the BDF to fulfill their noble national missions of defending the kingdom, its civilizational progress, and the security of its citizens. His Majesty affirmed that Bahrain remains steadfast in its firm approach based on wisdom, moderation, and the promotion of peace and cooperation, and that the kingdom will confidently continue to fulfill its national and humanitarian mission and is keen to strengthen its fraternal relations with its Arab, regional, and international neighbors in a way that serves the region's security and stability. His Majesty praised the high competence, discipline, and sense of responsibility demonstrated by the BDF's personnel in their various posts, noting that the BDF will remain a strong shield for the kingdom and a firm pillar in preserving its security, stability, and development. His Majesty the King delivered a royal speech on the occasion expressing gratitude and appreciation to the Royal Bahraini Air Force and Air Defense for fully carrying out their duties to safeguard Bahrain's land, water, and skies. His Majesty affirmed that Bahrain is now more united and stronger than ever, standing together and one under the banner of the kingdom. His Majesty instructed senior officers of the Royal Air Force to convey his greetings and appreciation to all officers, non-commissioner officers, and personnel of the Air Defense in their various honorable posts, wishing them all continued success. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a telephone call from the Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan, General Asim Munir. During the call, General Munir expressed Pakistan's solidarity with the strong support for Bahrain, condemning and denouncing in the strongest terms the hostile missile attacks launched by Iran against Bahraini territory. He affirmed Pakistan's support for all measures taken by Bahrain to preserve its sovereignty, security, and national achievements. His Majesty the King reaffirmed Bahrain's steadfast commitment, with Allah's help, to its firm approach based on wisdom, moderation, and the promotion of peace and cooperation with its Arab, regional, and international partners in the interest of regional security and stability. His Majesty also expressed appreciation and gratitude to Pakistan for its sincere solidarity and the supportive stance conveyed by General Asim Munir. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Honorary President of the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, RHF, issued a directive for the annual Eid al-Fitr disbursement to all families sponsored by the RHF. His Majesty instructed the RHF to take the necessary measures to ensure the timely distribution of the disbursements, supporting families in meeting their needs during Eid al-Fitr. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the RHF, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, affirmed that this reflects His Majesty the King's noble humanitarian vision and continuous keenness to support families and share their joy during various occasions each year, while reinforcing the values of solidarity and social cohesion for which Bahrain is known. His Highness congratulated His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the people of Bahrain, and all residents on the upcoming Eid al-Fitr. The Acting Secretary General of the RHF, Ibrahim al-Dosari, expressed gratitude for the generous royal gesture and His Majesty's keenness to bring happiness to families and help them prepare to welcome Eid al-Fitr. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa ratified and issued Law 11 of 2026 approving the system law amending several provisions of the unified system for the extension of insurance protection for GCC citizens working in member states other than their own, following its approval by the Shura and Representatives Councils. The system law was approved to amend some provisions of the unified system for extending insurance protection to GCC citizens working outside their home countries in any member state of the Council attached to this law. His Majesty the King also ratified and issued Law 12 of 2026, amending some provisions of the Law of Evidence in Civil and Commercial Matters, issued by Decree Law 14 of 1996, following its approval by the Shura and Representatives Councils. His Majesty the King also ratified and issued Law 13 of 2026 approving the Unified Law on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture for the GCC states, following its approval by the Shura and Representatives Councils. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa visited the Salmaniya Medical Complex to visit the residents of Sitra injured by Iran's hostile attacks and targeting of residential areas. His Royal Highness affirmed that Bahrain stands united in times of strife, noting that the injuries affected the residents of Sitra are felt by the whole kingdom. His Royal Highness emphasized that the protection of the kingdom and its people is of paramount importance, and stressed that Bahrain's military and civilian institutions are working tirelessly to safeguard the security and well-being of all that face the hostile Iranian aggression under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness wished the victims a speedy recovery, stating that Bahrain's strength comes from the unity of its people and their steadfast support for the kingdom under the leadership of His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness was accompanied by the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and the Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila bint Sayyid Jawad Hassan. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received the Nasser Al Bina team from Ibn Khaldun National School as part of His Highness's keenness to support youth initiatives and promote volunteer work in Bahrain. His Highness affirmed that the Nasser Al Bina project is a model of meaningful youth initiatives that reflect the spirit of giving and teamwork among Bahraini youth. His Highness pointed out that the community and humanitarian initiatives offered by the team embody the authentic values of the Bahraini society and confirms the ability of young people to serve and develop society. His Highness praised the efforts of the team in implementing volunteer works and volunteer projects that have a tangible positive impact on society, wishing them continued success. His Highness was briefed on the initiatives undertaken by the Nasser al-Bina team with the support and follow-up of the Nasser al-Khair organization. Among these initiatives are the restoration and maintenance of old houses, the development and equipping of educational facilities and centers for people with special needs, in addition to supporting small projects that empower individuals and create new opportunities for them. His Highness was briefed on the future plans and initiatives that the team seeks to implement in the coming period, which aims to continue developing volunteer work in Bahrain. The Council of Representatives held its weekly session remotely, presided over by its Speaker Ahmed Lemsalem. The session discussed a number of questions regarding the development of infrastructure in the 4th constituency of the Capital Governorate and infrastructure projects in the 12th constituency of the Northern Governorate. It also discussed the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture's plan to implement and develop the waterfront of the 6th constituency of the Bahrain Governorate. The Council approved a draft law on the regulation of the possession and handling of dangerous animals. It also reviewed and approved 5 proposals and referred them to the government. The Bahrain Defense Force air defense system have continued to intercept and successive waves of Iranian terrorist attacks with sustained effectiveness. Since the commencement of the hostilities, BDF air defense have intercepted and destroyed 105 missiles and 176 drones targeting Bahrain. The BDF General Command commended the exceptional combat readiness and operational excellence demonstrated by its personnel in defense of the kingdom and affirmed that the skies of Bahrain remain protected. The General Command urged all members of the public to exercise the utmost caution for their personal safety and keep clear of affected sites and any suspicious objects, to refrain from filming military operations or photographing debris locations, and to avoid circulating unverified information. The public is advised to rely exclusively on official sources for information, updates and alerts. The General Command further affirmed that the use of ballistic missiles and drones to target civilian sites and private property constitutes a flagrant violation of international humanitarian law and the UN Charter. These indiscriminate attacks represent a direct threat to regional peace and security. Following the briefing, we reviewed the successes of the protectors of the Kingdom of Bahrain Defense Force in defending the skies, water and land of Bahrain against the blatant Iranian aggression.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نستعرض في هذه الإحاطة بالأرقام نجاحات حماية الوطن في الذود عن سماء ومياه وأراضي مملكتنا الغالية ضد العدوان الإيراني الغادر. ولله الحمد إن منظومات الدفاع الجوي بقوة دفاع البحرين بفضل من الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نستعرض في هذه الإحاطة بالأرقام نجاحات حماية الوطن في الذود عن سماء ومياه وأراضي مملكتنا الغالية ضد العدوان الإيراني الغادر. ولله الحمد إن منظومات الدفاع الجوي بقوة دفاع البحرين بفضل من الله سبحانه وتعالى ثم بيقظة رجال قواتنا المسلحة مستمرة في مواجهة موجات تتابعية من الاعتداءات وصامدة في اعتراض وتدمير ما يستهدف المملكة من اعتداءات إيرانية إرهابية آثمة. إن رجال قوة دفاع البحرين منذ بدء العدوان يوم السبت 28 فبراير 2026 نجحوا بكل كفاءة واقتدار في اعتراض وتدمير 105 صاروخ و176 طائرة مسيرة كانت تستهدف الأعيان المدنية والممتلكات الخاصة في مملكة البحرين. إن هذه اليقظة العالية لرجالنا البواسل تجسد الجاهزية القصوى لحماية المملكة. إننا نفخر بما يظهره رجال قوة دفاع البحرين من جاهزية قتالية متقدمة ويقظة رفيعة، ونعتز بهذه الكفاءة العملياتية المستمرة، إذ إن الأداء المشرف الذي يسطره هؤلاء الرجال يبعث على طمأنينة وثقة راسخة بأن سماء المملكة مصونة بعون الله، وكل ذلك بفضل الدعم اللامحدود من لدن سيدي حضرة صاحب الجلالة ملك البلاد المعظم القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة حفظه الله ورعاه، والمساندة الكبيرة من سيدي صاحب السمو الملكي ولي العهد نائب القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة رئيس مجلس الوزراء حفظه الله، والمتابعة اليومية المستمرة من سيدي صاحب المعالي القائد العام لقوة دفاع البحرين حفظه الله.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid al-Zayani, held a telephone call with Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mohammad Ishaq Dar. During the call, the two sides discussed areas of diplomatic coordination and consultation between the two countries in international forums, particularly within the UN Security Council, in light of their current membership in the Council with regard to the ongoing international issues under its consideration. The discussion also addressed the long-standing historical relations between the two countries and the efforts undertaken to further develop and advance them across various domains. The two sides also reviewed current regional developments, including the continued Iranian missile attacks targeting Bahrain and the GCC states, which have resulted in additional loss of life and property, and exchanged views on issues of mutual interest. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid al-Zayani, received a telephone call from China's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Wang Yi, during which they discussed developments in the region and the Iranian attack on Bahrain. During the call, the Chinese Foreign Minister conveyed the greetings of Chinese President Xi Jinping to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, along with his wishes for Bahrain's continued security, peace, and stability. He commended the depth of the long-standing relations between the two countries and their peoples and expressed his country's solidarity and sympathy with Bahrain amid the Iranian missile attacks against the kingdom. He affirmed China's firm rejection of the armed attacks targeting the kingdom, emphasizing his country's commitment to respecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity, avoiding escalation into war, and safeguarding freedom of international navigation. The Chinese Foreign Minister noted that the immediate priority is the cessation of military operations and a return to dialogue and negotiations, affirming that China will continue to promote peace in the region. He also called for enhanced diplomatic coordination and consultation between the two countries through their membership in the UN Security Council, expressing his country's wishes for Bahrain's continued security, stability, and peace. For his part, Dr. Zayani expressed appreciation for his Chinese counterpart for the sentiments of solidarity conveyed towards Bahrain, as well as China's support for the measures undertaken by the kingdom to safeguard its security and stability. He underscored the importance of continued cooperation and coordination between the two countries' permanent missions to the UN regarding the international issues under consideration by the Security Council, and expressed his wishes for China and its people continued security, stability, and prosperity. The Ministry of Interior announced that the blatant Iranian aggression had targeted a residential building in the capital Manama, resulting in the death of a 29-year-old Bahraini woman and 8 injuries. The Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila Hassan, had visited Salmaniya Medical Complex to follow up on the latest developments resulting from the blatant Iranian aggression on a residential building in Manama. The Minister of Information, Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah Naimi, chaired the emergency meeting of the GCC Ministers of Information held remotely to discuss regional developments following the Iranian attacks on GCC states. The meeting reviewed the consequences of the attacks targeting civilian sites, vital facilities, infrastructure, residential areas, and private property. The ministers stressed that these acts violate international and humanitarian law, the UN Charter, and pose a serious threat to regional security, stability, and the safety of its people. During the meeting, Dr. Naimi noted that the region is facing a highly sensitive situation amid rapidly evolving developments. He strongly condemned the Iranian attacks and affirmed that the GCC states have the legal right to respond under Article 51 of the UN Charter, which guarantees self-defense in the event of aggression. He added that the states may take all necessary measures to protect their sovereignty, security, and stability. He affirmed that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, remains committed to its long-standing approach that seeks peace. He also emphasized the kingdom's full solidarity with GCC countries and the measures they take to protect their sovereignty, security, and stability. Dr. Naimi expressed appreciation for the efforts of the armed forces in the GCC states in defending their countries, protecting their sovereignty, and confronting the attacks with determination and efficiency. He also highlighted the important role of security agencies and relevant authorities in strengthening security and stability, ensuring the safety of citizens and residents, and protecting vital facilities and infrastructure. The minister praised the BDF for its national role and high readiness in safeguarding the kingdom's security and sovereignty. He highlighted the advanced performance of air defense systems in intercepting Iranian attacks and commended the Ministry of Interior, the National Guard, and all government bodies for their vigilance and effective response in reinforcing national security and stability. The minister also expressed sincere condolences to GCC countries over the fallen servicemen and civil victims resulting from these attacks, wishing the injured a swift recovery. He emphasized that current developments heightened the responsibility of GCC media institutions to uphold their national and professional duties by representing facts clearly, raising public awareness, and countering misinformation. He stressed the need to expose the nature of these attacks and reflect the firm GCC stance, rejecting any escalation that threatens state sovereignty or regional stability. Dr. Naimi added that the current stage carries strategic importance and requires stronger joint action to enhance media integration and coordination among GCC states. He noted that this would support a unified Gulf media discourse that reflects the unity of position and keeps pace with regional developments while helping to unify media messages and clearly present the Gulf position at both the regional and international levels. The Dean of the Arab Diplomatic Corps in London and Bahrain's ambassador to the UK, Sheikh Fawaz bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, hosted an iftar banquet on behalf of the Council of Arab Ambassadors in honor of the Mayor of London, Sir Sadiq Khan, and a number of Muslim members of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. During the iftar banquet, attendees discussed a number of regional and international issues of common interest, expressing their condemnation of the unjustified and indiscriminate Iranian attacks targeting civilians and critical infrastructures in the states of the GCC and a number of Arab and Islamic countries, and the resulting of humanitarian and material losses. They also stressed the importance of respecting the sovereignty of states and international law and working to promote security and stability in the region in a manner that serves the interest of its people and spare them the consequences of escalation and tension. The meeting also addressed ways to further strengthen the long-standing and distinguished Arab-British relations, to review areas of joint coordination in a manner that meets the aspirations of Arab people, and enhance the role of Arab embassies accredited to the United Kingdom to the benefit of all.